we crushed him last night, right? On After Dark. I was on After Dark with Goodman and Fanta. And I would argue deservedly so. So I want to flip this and I want to take it from the other angle. Like, is there any chance that this thing can get turned around? And how does it get turned around? Like, is there a quick fix here? And do you believe that Cal is capable of making the change that needs to be made to get Arkansas, a team that has talent? Like, look, they got guys, they got some dudes to get them to be able to actually turn that talent into wins.
No, I think it's a lost cause for this year. And look, I'm not writing off the cat at Arkansas because they're going to get players, and he can build really good teams. Like last year's Kentucky team was an excellent college basketball team. Like that team had the talent to go to a Final Four. That team at times looked like he could make a Final Four. So Oakland loss aside, narratives, whatever. Like I'm not ready to do this. Like Cal is washed. Cal can never win again. Like I think that has gone too far. But I think he has struggled to get everyone on this team playing their best basketball together. And I think he made the margin really tight when he recruited 9 total players. Like that's what they have. I mean, I'm not counting Cash Chavis and Melo Sanchez and the rest of these like fake walk-on, whatever. Like they have 9 total players. They've had guys in and out of the lineup. You have Big Z, who at the beginning of the year looked like he's on track to be, an NBA player, and now he plays 10 minutes a game in the SEC until yesterday, where all of a sudden he falls out of the sky, plays 30 minutes. Like there's just no consistency. Some nights it's Nelly can shoot as much as he wants. Some nights his usage is 0. Wagner it seems to be the only guy who consistently gets his 10 shots a game. Now there's worry about Boogie Flan's health, which is its own can of worms and concern. Like Cal has just not been able to kind of piece the parts together. And I don't blame him. I think it's tough. I think it's tough with the way he built it with the sort of hodgepodge of transfers and portal guys and guys that came over Kentucky. Like I just don't think there's any role definition. Like when you look at the best teams in college basketball right now, and you could say this with Kentucky, with Pope, you could say this with Illinois. We were talking about it with Underwood, with Emma, with Auburn, with Tennessee. Like the roles are very clearly defined. Like who these guys are expected to be night to night is very clearly laid out. I don't think Arkansas has that. And so, yeah, the talent is probably a little worse than that top tier, but it's not worse than the rest of the SEC. Like this should be a team that, if nothing else, is like in play to be 500 in the league. I just think the roles are not at all defined, and I don't know how easily you fix that because I don't think these guys fit neatly into boxes.
Mm-hmm. Randolph?
I think this. I mean, what you're saying though is what Cal has been. Right, he gets players for whatever reason. That's been his superpower: collect the talent, get the guys to play. He lets you play. He'll let you play. I think this is just something that he's adjusting to as well. Is with the portal and getting guys, adding these guys. All the pieces just don't seem to fit. When your best player is 18 years old and his name isn't Cooper Flagg, you're gonna struggle. Like you're gonna struggle. That's just the reality of it. There's gonna be, and then now. You're in this league, statistically one of the best leagues historically, and you don't have time to figure things out. And you look up now, you're 0-5 in the league. There's some talent here, but I don't know where the consistent scoring is going to come from. I don't think he knows what he's getting from one game to the next from this group because I don't think anyone knows. I mean, Davis has looked he's looked a shell of himself. We talked about the FAU team, and everyone else is playing really well. Him being able to score the ball and being efficient and effective player was something we never questioned on the move, on the jump up to Power 5. So for whatever reason, it's not working. He usually just gets a ton of talent. This talent collectively together isn't working well. They can't shoot it consistently from behind the 3-point line. And again, when you're relying on an 18-year-old in today's times and his name ain't Cooper Flagg, you're gonna struggle.
Yeah, that's my biggest takeaway. And what I kind of said last night was Boogie Flan, Carter Knox, and Billy Richmond. That's a really good recruiting class, right? When you're kind of building for the future and you're using those guys as pieces to kind of plug gaps that you already have in your lineup and your roster. It's not Michael K. Gilchrist and Anthony Davis and who's the other Teague brother? I can't remember.
Marcus.
The point guard. Marcus Teague. Marcus. Yeah. It's not that. It's not John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and Eric Bledsoe, right? Like you're not getting. It's not that level of freshman. If the class that he had coming in this season was like, or for next season was AJ DeBonsa, was Cam Boozer, and was Darren Peterson, all three of those guys were going to Arkansas, then yes, you probably have a chance to compete in this SEC with those freshmen. But like, just look at, so Auburn has Janai Broome, 5th-year guy, Chad Baker-Mazara. I believe he's like a 5th or 6th-year guy that did a year at JUCO and has been around. That dude's old, right? Denver Jones is a senior. Chaney Johnson is a senior. Miles Kelly is a senior. Dylan Cardwell is a senior that's been around forever. Look at Kentucky's roster. Yeah, they're more than seniors, right? Lamont Butler is a 5th-year guy that played in a national championship game. Otega Owe is a junior that's been playing 30 minutes a game his entire career. Jackson Robinson, senior. Andrew Carr, senior. Amari Williams is a senior, right? Kobe Brea, Kirk Risa, seniors. Like you can go up and down all of these teams. You want to do Tennessee? Let's roll through Tennessee. Zakai Ziegler, 5th-year senior. Chaz Lanier, 5th-year senior. Milicic, senior. Jordan Gainey, senior. Like you got guys that are 23 years old that are good enough to play in the NBA at some point, that are probably going to have long careers overseas, going up against a bunch of 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds that aren't really being coached the way they need to be coached. It's a recipe for disaster. You know, it's even LSU, like you kind of hit the point. I don't want to beat we don't need to beat a dead horse there and do the pile on thing, but it's frustrating to watch because there's expectations there.